Hello again and welcome back to my garden. How are you today? Beautiful afternoon in Queensland, Australia. We've had a bit of rain. The temperature's only about 26 degrees. That is perfect. Today I'm going to talk to you about bromeliads. They're a funky kind of a plant. I absolutely love them. I've got a lot of them growing in my garden. As you can see, they're here in these great big tree stumps, and inside the tree stumps all there are rocks, so there's no soil. So if you look in here, you'll just see rocks. They're just actually sitting in rocks with no soil. They don't actually like their roots to be clumped up and too wet, so make sure they're somewhere where the water actually runs through the roots. The idea, of course, is to have water sitting here. They love the water down in there, and they're actually epiphytes, and what that means is that they can grow themselves attached to all sorts of things. They can attach to logs, they can be inside logs like that, they can sit up in branches of trees. They actually feed from above, so all the mulch and everything that comes down on top of them, that is how they feed. They do well in the sun or in the shade, but I keep mine out of the heat of the sun. And as you can see, they're nice and green. You can tell if they've got too much sun, they'll actually be a little bit yellow, these ones. So like I say, well-drained mix. I put mine in containers with stones always. If you've got bromeliads growing like this, don't move them. You can take the pups off. This is a pup here on the side. So you could actually pull him off from here and pop him into another pot if you wanted to. But don't take this whole plant out and move it. They actually are quite shallow rooted, and they love to clump and be clumped up together. They look spectacular when you have them in mass. How about this here? A friend gave me this last year sometime. Thanks, David. And I wasn't sure exactly how it was going to grow, but this is actually a miniature pineapple bromeliad. Isn't that incredible? They grow to about 1/2 metre tall, and you're not going to believe it, I went into a local shop today, never seen one of these before growing, and there was one 1/2 metre tall. But just take a look at this. He's got a tiny little pineapple on top. Isn't that absolutely amazing? Another part of this most amazing family of plants. They're all a bit unusual, aren't they? There is a rule of thumb when it comes to planting and gardening. If it's growing happily in the space, just leave it. Don't think, oh, I can move that somewhere else. It will do just as well. It's always better just to leave it where it is. If it's happy, don't move it. In the case of a bromeliad, though, because they give little pups off, you can actually take the pups and plant them and create another group of plants like this. So this one here, this little one here, is a pup. It's new growth. It's attached by this little stalk you can see down in here. So all I'm going to do is reach in and grab it and break it off at the main part of the plant. There we go. We have a pup ready to plant and start a new group of these beautiful bromeliads somewhere else. Now the process is simple. As I say, I plant mine all above ground. I don't put them in pots unless they've got rocks in them. So I take rocks, for example, down here. I'll move that rock out. The pup will now sit in here, in amongst the rocks like that. The rock will go back on top and stop that from moving. Then, once it sends out its shallow root and attaches itself, it will never move. That's how easy they are. Get a watering can, give them a water, and they're ready to go. I don't know if you know, but bromeliads serve a real purpose in the rainforests of the Amazon jungle. They actually grow up high in the trees. So when some of the little frogs want to lay their eggs, they climb all the way to the top, and they lay their eggs in the centres of the bromeliads where there's water. And that's where they stay until they hatch. So it's like a little maternity unit up there. It's also a place that they know their hatchlings will be safe, that high up in the trees. So the ecosystem works in interesting ways, plants and animals working together. back to my miniature pineapple bromeliad. I think this is just absolutely amazing. And I'll be looking forward to the day when I find some little pups on the bottom of this one, so I can have more of these funky little plants in my garden. You have a fabulous day today.